research. Because I am from the beginning, before teacher I was a researcher and now I am a researcher. We give a lot of thrust for research besides starting the PhD program, and we have a couple of projects already. One is we have the ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research Task Force members in the child research, that basically child injury we are starting from. We'll be doing series of research projects for ICMR through this task force study. And I'm telling you that from the Northeast, we are the only state member of that actually, no one. And all over India, we are only 7 members in that. And we are also going to be one of the prestigious project in our public health, National Family Health Survey. We are going to be part of that survey. It's a major mega study, and we will be doing for one of the states they are allotted, most probably not the Sikkim, this time is Assam. About this, and now we have basic research scientists from basic sciences. I think they are going to start research and complete 100% support from the management and our president and our chancellor for them to initiate the research very soon. I want to tell you, sir, another important area what we have done. We have seen that students, not only from here, many places, they are not industry ready. So they say that industries want certain skills. What we teach is there is a mismatch. To fill that gap, we signed MOU with Man Global Technologies. It's going to talk about that. We have started 5 important professional, career-oriented, job-oriented programs. I think he's going to talk. I think we'll be doing many more. I want to tell you that skill building, under the skill building, people started doing small 15 days, 3 months programs to make them technicians. I assure you that these programs are not for making technicians. We want this program to building career and making them first-class professionals in the industry of technology and data analytics and management. That I think he's going to talk about that. It's a wonderful program. I think this is how we are going to operationalize. We are going to present in short time. We also started entrepreneur development cell. It is in, I think we are going to have a separate inauguration of that. And that time again we'll trouble our Upaji sir and others to inaugurate the program. Another important innovation we have done for last year to this year change is that we started ERP system. ERP is I think people who are in the ERP system, they understand that it brings the complete transparency to parents, child, and the faculty, everyone, what is happening in the university. So far, I think students do not know their internal marks. They don't know the attendance. But now, this system will give a login for the student to log in and see their marks. They can communicate, they can take a membership, they can send a request. As well, the parents who also can log in and see their child's progress. And we'll be sending timely SMS and emails through ERP system, the parents as well as student, for the performance, improvement of the performance, as well as appreciation for the good performance also. And this is about our education, that software, and at the part of hardware system, this year we ventured into a next building, which was not supposed to because our president wants a campus, but we had to start because expansion is happening very fast. I told that we had to catch up temporarily to have a building. Of course, campus is of course our dream we are going to have very soon, but we cannot stop that, I told. And because from the Sikkim, I represent our whole Sikkim there, so I have to fight for our own share of allotments for Sikkim University from the whole SRM family. So I do that, and they agreed, and we created an infrastructure of separate science block. Even the name science block, we'll be having other social sciences courses also stationed there. That building is completely Wi-Fi enabled, and it is also having state-of-the-art lab, 4 basic laboratories. Equipment we are purchasing is coming now, and also we have supported by a good computer lab. And next I think by December we are going to come out with a 400-seater auditorium on the top of it. That day we want to see that, we want to have this function around our So and this is about this, and then last year what happened, the placement was phenomenal. Our placement worked very hard. Placement earlier it was touching 50, 60. That last year our placement cell changed the numbers, and it almost touched 90%. And believe it or not, 58 companies visited our SRM University Sikkim for recruitment. And most of them has a great praise for our students, and it made us very proud. Thank you very much for the students who made our life happy. Keeping that in mind, this year we started placement week, where we invited series of companies in 1 week. In October, they'll be coming, and like a placement where we'll be exposing the students for the placements there, and we would like to give appointment letter before they leave the SRM University or writing the final exams. That's our dream. I hope placement we will keep that. We said that this is about placement, and we also did other events for student development, other than academics. But another important activity I want to share to our watchers, I want to say that thanks to HRDD, they are given opportunity to conduct on-job training to the technology students. And for last 2 years back, we used to get 8 students. Last year, we had 200 students coming to SRM University. They were with us for 15 days for learning the training in technology, like developing apps, developing website, and developing programs. So that's a wonderful opportunity I think we gave to them. And 15 days they are with us. I think some of them joined also SRM University. Sir, we would like to do not only in technology, we want to say that we also want to do it in terms of management and HTM and other areas also. We have annual sports events for our students. I want to tell the parents and students. You can look at the student handbook, it is given to every student. And 3 days are reserved for student. It's called athlon. We are going to have that medal, I think, cups, we're going to give it to the last year winners. And this is a 3 years event, it's named as athlon. And we also have a transformation techno fest, where we invite the students from the colleges and schools to do technology things like coding, debugging, and ethical hacking, so on. A very interesting thing happened last year. We had 2 days this Technofest. We had students coming from the schools and students coming from the colleges. But what we have done, people who are selected, who won the medals in the first year from the schools, have been asked to compete with the college students. Very surprisingly, again the school students won against the college students. That's phenomenal, I think. That shows the education system of Sikkim in the government sector. We also have clubs like NSS and Rotaract. They're going to talk to you about that. We also have, they do blood donation, others community level. Like we want to teach. One of the major problem in education, in each sector in India, we talk about that. I personally feel that lack of leadership skills. Lack of leadership skills is the major problem, I think, any area you take up. Leadership does not mean that you be a political leader. Lead at any level. The lead is one of the major areas. To develop that, we are using these clubs to inculcate these leadership skills, leading the teams, working with the teams, and working for the community. I think we have NSS Rotaract, we have a literary club, we are going to start a music club, we are going to start a dance club, and these are the clubs we are going to have for student development. And very soon, your seniors, your teachers are going to approach you. And we have so many things to do here, I think. And there was so many. Like we want to do a research, improve the research. We want to have a big national. We are not yet done academic discourses at SRM University Sikkim. That's one of the major work at a university level, which is pairing, I think. That auditorium would give us a scope. We want to have various national conferences, national seminars, national symposia. We are going to have very soon, and then we will be inviting the experts from industry, experts from academia, experts from the bureaucracy, experts from journalism, so on. I think that we are going to start very soon. I think I assure that time all the students who have joined, they'll get a better understanding about what is the picture at the national level. Once again, I think I want to stop here. There are so many. If you let me talk, I can talk days and days about the SRM University, because every day I drink SRM, sleep SRM, and think about SRM only for the last 2 years. Thank you very much, everyone, for Upadhyay sir and academic council members, and for the parents bestowing trust on us and allowing us to be a part of your kids' building your kids' future. And friends from media, friends from industry, friends from other universities, thank you very much for coming and gracing us this occasion. Last, I want to say that our mission includes the pursuit of excellence and the desire to develop responsible and compassionate global citizens. We take our mission very seriously. It is not a wording on the book. And search for ways to assist each student to reach their potential as a lifelong learners and active citizens. Our motto of learn, lead is offered with utmost sincerity and commitment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening and motivating words. Your vision and your leadership are highly admirable. I now request Dr. R. N. Balagan, Dean Academics, to shed light on the new programs introduced in the university and the courses of School of Management and Commerce, School of IT, School of Hospitality and Tourism Studies.
All the dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, faculty, students, guests, and parents. A very warm good morning to everyone. I am extremely glad in chatting with you all regarding our faculty profile and also some of the courses we are offering in SRM University. Regarding the faculty members, most of them, almost all of them are well experienced and well qualified. And out of these total, 30% of them are doctorates with good international research publications with a high impact factor. Again, 25% of them have very good foreign exposure. Many of them have worked in countries like US, Taiwan, Japan, UK, China, Korea, Netherlands, Portugal, and other countries. So welcome to all our new faculty members on behalf of our registrar sir and on my own behalf for their happy stay with our SRM University. Regarding the courses, for the current academic year 2018-19, we are offering a total of 24 programs, out of which 13 programs are undergraduate programs and 11 programs are postgraduate programs. Some of the basic science courses and the social science programs have been also added in this academic year, and our HODs of basic sciences will narrate about the new courses. Regarding the existing courses, from the beginning we are offering School of Hospitality and Tourism Studies, School of Management and Commerce, and School of Information Technology. Under School of Hospitality Tourism, we are offering BSc Hospitality, MSc Hospitality and Tourism, and this year we are offering MBA Hospitality. Under Management and Commerce, we have Diploma Management offering BBA program, MBA program with Finance, Marketing, HR, and Hospitality specialization. We were also offering BVoc in Banking and Finance. Under School of Information Technology, BSc IT, MSc IT, MCA, and MCA lateral entry courses are offered. And all these courses and programs, the curriculum has been revised and updated to enable the students to acquire the employable skills. All the courses are designed to provide more practical and lab-based training to students. Industrial visits and field trips are also arranged frequently for the students in each semester. The courses also consist of internship programs and project work followed by presentation and viva conducted by both internal and external examiners. Regarding PhD research program, recently we have introduced the following programs of research in the School of Hospitality and Management, Management and Commerce, and Information Technology. 3 types of research programs we are offering. One is full-time PhD research, next part-time PhD research for outsiders, and part-time PhD research for our internal faculty members. So with these few words, I thank all of them, all to have been given this opportunity for me. Now next, our HODs of Social Sciences and Basic Sciences will narrate the courses about offering by them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful words. I now call upon Dr. Govind Pratap Singh, Head of Department of Chemistry, to kindly give us an overview of science program at the university.
Respected chief guests, registrar sir, parents, colleagues, friends and students. A very warm welcome to one and all to this induction program of our SRM family. It is my proud privilege to welcome you all on the behalf of the Department of Basic Sciences, BSc Chemistry, BSc Physics, BSc Botany, BSc Zoology, which has been bestowed with highly qualified professors from across country. The Department of Physics is being headed by Dr. Sam Shiva from the land of Ramana Maharshi, Chennai. Department of Zoology by Dr. Sudarshana from the land of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Vivekananda, West Bengal. Department of Botany by Professor Anand from the hills of Darjeeling, and Department of Chemistry by myself from Bhopal. We, as a group, want to reassure the parents that your children are in the right institute, which caters just not for their competitive career, but has a caring ambience for their overall growth and development. We are determined to build up this institute into a research-oriented university with cutting-edge research facilities for the future scholars. We have been very careful as an institute to recruit the best brains and talents to continue the BSc program into Masters and PhD. The heads of departments have been chosen who have international exposure and has been involved with high quality research. We all have received doctorate degrees from very prestigious institutes, and each one of us have to our credit a number of research publications in very prestigious international scientific journals. The head of Department of Physics have been to USA, Japan, Korea, China, Taiwan, etc. for his research pursuits in his postdoctoral studies. Similarly, I did my PhD in New Zealand and postdoctoral studies in IIT, United States of America, under some of the world's most renowned scientists. After the great battle, when Rama was advised to stay back in Lanka and rule over it, he simply replied, Api Swarnmai Lanka Lakshmana Mama Narochayate Janani Janma Bhumischa Swargadapi Gariyasi. How much ever prosperous this Lanka may look like, it doesn't suit me, for the mother and motherland are greater than the heavens itself. We want to use all our knowledge gained to contribute our part in molding the education system here in India. The undergrad labs itself are of very high standards with amazing experimental ambience and equipped with sound instrumentations such as spectrophotometers, electrophoresis instruments, and a lot of other instruments, of course. The syllabus itself has been designed with utmost care, and without exaggeration, I can say this, that it meets the standards of the best of the universities, not just in India, but across the globe. Our library has been stacked with best of the books of international publications and repute, which gives the students over here an upper hand when compared to books available for most of the students across India. The students over here will be trained to clear all India level examinations and be an asset not only to our institute but to our country. The BSc courses include very practical courses like pharmaceutical chemistry, field-oriented practicals for biosciences students, etc., so that they are eligible to be directly absorbed in the industries. Most importantly, the strong faculty will provide them the best exposure needed to guide them to choose the best career and facilitate their easy transition from academics to the professional life. We once again wish our students a fruitful and enjoyable years of stay and learning at SRM. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the informative speech. I request the Head of Department of English, Ms. Manisha Thakuri, to enlighten us on the innovations carried out by the Departments of English and Social Sciences.
Honorable Chief Guest, respected Registrar Sir, Dean Sir, revered members of the Academic Council of SRM University Sikkim, representatives from the MANT Global Technologies, the HODs of various schools, the invitees, parents, colleagues, and my dear and loving students. A warm good morning to one and all present here. It gives me immense pleasure to stand before you today to talk about the initiatives taken by the School of Language, Literature and Culture Studies and School of Social Sciences of SRM University Sikkim. Let me first talk about the newly introduced school, School of Social Sciences. You and I are the important part of the society, and without studying the social life of human groups, the circle seems incomplete. Therefore, the School of Social Sciences. The school has made its humble beginning by introducing the undergraduate and postgraduate program in economics and masters in political science and sociology. These courses have retained its roots definitely, but they have also endeavored to give more of a contemporary touch by including applied courses. For instance, a student opting for sociology would also get to learn about sociology of education, medical sociology, migration studies, sociology of media, gender and society, etc. On the other hand, the ones who have chosen political science, they also get to learn about international relations, public administration, and political economy alongside politics and political theories. While we glance at economics, the subjects go way beyond micro and macroeconomics, focusing on monetary economics, industrial economics, agricultural economics, econometrics, data analytics, and women's studies and development. It also gives thrust on quantitative aptitude, thereby building in students analytical skills and critical thinking. Under the School of Language, Literature and Culture Studies functions the Department of English. This department heralded its coming last year with the announcement of BA English Honours Program. Quite against our assumption, the students enrolled for this course was almost triple the number of what we had expected. This year too, it has maintained its consistency. The happy news is that we have begun with the postgraduate program in English this year. Even in the English curriculum, we have attempted to bring the applied courses like phonetics and linguistics, English language teaching, journalism and advertising, writing for media, gender studies, film studies, academic writing, creative writing, etc. The sole purpose behind this is to make the students aware of various employable areas available in subject like English, which we are ignorant about most of the time. Two important avenues that Department of English is venturing currently are, number one, the collaboration with Cambridge Assessment Group to become a center for Cambridge assessment for imparting lessons on listening, speaking, reading and writing skills and executing exams for English language in the northeast region of India. This would help every student of Sikkim and also others to procure the prestigious certificates in English language from Cambridge University, which is valid lifelong. The second avenue that we have ventured is establishment of full-fledged language lab, particularly with latest technology and software for helping students improve their communication skills immensely and specialize themselves to become a voice and accent trainer. I would not just do justice to my speech if I do not mention that the School of Social Sciences and School of Language, Literature and Culture Studies have given extreme importance to research too. Both qualitative and quantitative research have found substantial space in the syllabus, and the students are also trained to use data analysis softwares like SPSS and NVivo. Research and academic writing, in-house seminars, mini projects, colloquium, and symposium are already inscribed in the curriculum. In order to give the explicit exposure to the students in their final semester of the postgraduate program of these schools, the students solely go for internship or dissertation. When so much thought has gone behind making such enriched framework of the stakeholders to make them think out of the box, it is definitely because of the experienced and dedicated teachers in these departments. Unlike the basic sciences, I am proud to announce the HODs heading these departments of social sciences and Department of English. The HOD for sociology department is Madam Tilodoma from Sikkim. For the political science, HOD is Madam Chirindoma, again from Sikkim. For economics, the HOD is Mr. Pravin Rizal from Sikkim, and Department of English, myself from Sikkim. So the School of Social Sciences and English is headed by the leaders from Sikkim. The faculty members with doctorates and the ones almost receiving their doctorate have been flawlessly working with an aim to give the best of what is available to the students. Their expertise through international exposures, cross-cultural conventions, seminars and conferences, research, and importantly, quest for knowing more is commendable. It would definitely be of utmost benefit to our students. I sincerely hope that you all will make the most out of it and always soar high and shine bright in your lives. Once again, welcome freshers to join us in this voyage of knowledge, growth, and togetherness. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your informed and comprehensive speech. May I now invite Mr. Kalyan Barua, in charge of School of Skill Building, SRM University Sikkim, to give us an overview on the initiative of skill building taken up by the university.
Respected Speaker Sir, Registrar Sir, Dean, and all HODs, parents, special invitees, and my dear beloved students. I'm here on behalf of Skill Building to update you and prize for the BVOC Pharma Manufacturing courses that has been launched last year. This course is a very special course and a very unique course designed in tune with the skill building mission envisaged by the Government of India and also the philosophy of Government of Sikkim mission for school development amongst the youth. So looking at the pace and the potential of the pharmaceutical industry's growth, this course is launched to exposing students to this very concept of skill building along with the practical. Both theory as well as the practical components of this course has been tested and designed in collaboration with lots of pharmaceutical industries across India. Hence, SRM University Sikkim has also collaborated and signed MOU with many organizations, pharmaceuticals in Sikkim like Glenmark and Alchem, Microlabs, Sun Pharmaceuticals, and all our students are happily undergoing practical exposures in this particular course. We have last year enrolled only 10 numbers of students in this particular course, but this year we have been able to get 25 students in this particular course, which suggests that the acceptance of this course is very good, and we are continuing with a very practical based and a very time tested and a well designed curriculum to these students in this particular area. Students pursuing the Bachelor of Pharmaceutical Manufacturing course are allowed also to exit in 2 phases. So if they are exiting after completing first year, they will be given diploma degree in this case. And when they are exiting after second year of this course, it will be an advanced diploma program. And when they complete the third year of this program, it will be called as any undergraduate programs. So a student in this course have the options of working or may pursue higher education, post-graduation programs in our universities or elsewhere. I would request humbly to the department and government officials to kindly support this endeavor to continue the skill-based training and education in pharmaceutical sector. Also, I'm going to talk about, as Sir has already apprised about the new course, which is Master in Public Health, is launched this year. And in this sector, mostly in public health, there is an acute shortage of manpower. So these graduates are going to, monitor and implement different healthcare programs in and around the country. In Chennai, actually, as he has already, apprised you, this course was particularly experimented by introducing, students who are non-medical graduates, and none other than our sir, Registrar sir, was pioneered this course, and he was exemplary and phenomenal in launching this course in Chennai 5 years back, and this course has become very successful now. And with this similar, concept and philosophy also, Sir is heading this department, or Registrar Sir is heading this department, and with this concept and philosophy, we are also introducing this MPS course this year, and we will include non-medical graduates along with the medical graduates to pursue this MPS course. So this is the time that MPS has been launched, and we have very excellent faculties which will be coming from across the country. All the experts will be coming here to give quality education. With this, I conclude and welcome once again all the freshers and parents to the university. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the enlightening speech. In order to facilitate the students with innovative ideas and skill-based learning, SRM University Sikkim took the initiative to introduce job-oriented programs. The university also signed an MOU with the MANT Global Technologies to promote this course. To elaborate on this, I request Mr. Chaitanya K. from the MANT Global Services to address the gathering.
Thanks, everyone. Shri G.P. Upadhyay, sir, Dr. Satish, Dr. Anbalagan, and Dr. Robin Chetri, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, parents, people from the business end, and finally the students. Hello, everyone. So, I'm going to tell you a small experience of how we watch movies when we were your age, right? When we were your age, go for a movie, all we had to do is take an auto or a bus, pay the bus driver or the conductor, auto fellow, go to the movie hall, buy a ticket, watch the movie, and if friends decided we wanted to go to a restaurant, we'd go to a restaurant and eat, pay, go back home. But that's not what we do today when we want to watch a movie, do we? If we have to watch a movie today, you first get onto Google, correct? You search if the movie has the right reviews, what people say about it, how many of your friends have watched it. That's an app. And then you go to an app like Book My Show, book tickets there, right? You catch an Uber or an Ola and then go to the movie hall. After the movie, you want to go for a restaurant, there is an app called Nearby where it gives you discounts and deals of restaurants so that you get the best of the deals. You search on that, then you go there, have your food, come back home, put this entire experience on your Facebook, right? Click pictures, selfies, right? And then talk about it amongst friends through WhatsApp. In this entire piece, if I had to go to a movie, I did not have to have 1 rupee in my pocket. I pay all through my Paytm app. Yes? No? Yeah. So you see how business has changed in the last few years, right? If I had to buy something 10 years ago, it was between me, the buyer, and the seller. I pay the money, I take the service. Now, it's a seller's choice to include technology in it. If he wanted not to maintain laborious books of accounting, or if he wanted an automated billing system, he would buy some software and still keep that there. That did not stop the business transaction from happening. He may still sell with or without technology. But today that's not the case. Technology happens to be the reason of how business happens today. If you wanted to book a cab 10 years ago, you call the cab driver, you ask him to come. Today you book a cab only through an app like Uber or Ola. So you see what happened? There was a buyer, there was a seller, and the technology was somewhere in the ecosystem either supporting this entire business transaction. But today, this technology has moved between the buyer and the seller themselves. So, technology becomes core of everything that we do, how we live. We buy clothes on Amazon and Flipkart and Mintras of the world today. We don't go to a retail store, or at least most of us don't, right? The point I'm trying to make is business is not what it used to be 15 years ago. Technology is relevant in everything that we do. So it's not, some geeks who know programming who can sit and write a few programs. It is a part of every single industry that you pick. Pick banking, right? We had debit cards earlier. Today, we have internet banking, mobile banking. Pick retail. You used to buy clothes from a mall. Today you buy clothes on Myntra. Look at how you travel. Look at how you book accommodation. Right? You can call a hotel earlier. Today you book it on Oyo Rooms or any of those platforms. So the way we do business, the way we live our lives has changed, and technology starts playing that critical mediator role in the middle. With me? Agree? Right. So, irrespective of which course you pick in your graduation, in the next 2 to 3 years when you graduate, you have to have a perspective of technology and how it influences your specific industry. Let's say you want to graduate and become an expert in supply chain management. Earlier, supply chain management was all about logistics, sourcing, and procurement. It is still relevant. You still need to know those concepts at the very fundamental level and to a subject knowledge that the university will teach you. But you also need to know how e-commerce works. You also need to know how the app works. How do you source vendors in a physical environment versus how do you source vendors on an app, right? So irrespective of which industry you go to 4 years from now or 3 years from now, irrespective of the kind of roles that you will perform as employees or entrepreneurs in your organization, you need to have a perspective of how technology can help and will help. Now, everybody is changing, right? Including the education industry. And I'm glad that SRM University Sikkim has recognized this need for students to have a technology perspective, has recognized the fact that they need to do something about it, and therefore have come forward with this set of programs. I'm Chaitanya, and I have my colleague here, Shakti. We represent an organization called MANT Global Services. We're based out of Bangalore, Chennai, and Singapore. And we, in partnership with, or in leadership with SRM University Sikkim, have come out with 5 courses to start with. They are supply chain management, revenue cycle management, medical coding, data sciences, and artificial intelligence. People with commerce backgrounds can opt for SEM or RCM. People from the life sciences backgrounds can get into a world of opportunities in medical coding. People with science backgrounds can start looking at data science and artificial intelligence, especially in the medical space, right? Each of these courses are anywhere between 3 to 6 months, with AI and data science stretching up to almost a year, because it needs that kind of practice. So these programs are built not on a standard platform, but you will learn these on a standalone state-of-the-art learning platform called Banyan, which means you can interact with your fellow students, talk to your lecturers and professors on the app or on the portfolio itself, while you will also have the ability to interact and communicate with people from these industries directly in person. There is a lot of practice component involved in this, which means you will experience live case scenarios. You will be talking to people on the business end who are really doing this business on a day in, day out basis. And once you get certified, we will also help you with your jobs in these industries specifically. Now, we start with these 5 courses, but over the next few years, actually next year, we want to introduce other practical skill programs like tourism, hotel management, and a whole lot of programs where you will start learning the perspective of technology in the core subjects that you have chosen to study. I see this as a beautiful marriage. Listening to what the professors and the HODs say here, they bring in an immense and years of experience on the subject, on the foundation of it. MANT and its platform Banyan can give you the technology perspective and make you a complete professional ready for your careers once you graduate. Now, we all know a candle, right? We've seen a candle. It's the one over there. Candle was invented, or the purpose of a candle was to give light. Before that, you had oil lamps. They were leaking. It was a heavy maintenance issue to handle oil lamps. Oil was not available all the time, and so the candle was born. Right? This was in early 1900s, I guess. Going by our current living standards and lifestyles, technically a candle should not exist. There is power everywhere. You have torches on your phones now. You don't even need a candle anymore, right? But it is surprising to see that the candle industry as a whole is growing at about 40% every year. The price of an average candle has increased manyfold. Why? The candle industry has realized that it's not the product or the equipment that is there in the candle that's important. It's important to how people use the candle. Today you buy a candle for a candlelight dinner with your loved ones. You buy a candle as a decorated piece to keep in your house, right? It's an assortment. There are scented candles. There are candles with jasmine flavors, right? So the candle has reinvented its meaning. SRM University, the way I see it, has reinvented its meaning in being relevant to today's needs of the student and making them competitive when they grow into the market. Approximately 5 million jobs or roles that exist today will not exist by 2022, around the time that some of you will graduate. Either they will not exist, or the very design of the role itself will change. Right? You may be called a medical coder, or you may be called a logistics and a supply chain manager. But what you do today as an SCM manager will be very different from what you do 4 years from now. Change is everywhere. I see SRM changing. I see a candle changing, right? If you have the right perspective of technology, you will stand out very differently from the 8 lakh graduates India produces every year. It could be SRM, it could be a candle, or it could be you. The idea is to stay relevant to what the industry needs. If you are relevant to the demand of your business, if you have the right aptitude to build the right frameworks and policies around technology with the core foundation that you learn from the teachers here, I think it's a killer combination, and it will set you very differently from a typical BCom graduate from a different university. So, with the world of opportunities ready to open up for you in the next few years, you have the choice. You have the ability to choose to do whatever you do, right? And you are at the right place to do right thing. Stay relevant. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your scintillating and motivating address. This is definitely a blessing in disguise for us in SRM, and also for the people of Sikkim. We definitely hope that these programs help us find the right career option. Being in SRM at the receiving end, we have many experiences shared. Here, I call upon Mr. Samie Chiring-Wongde, a senior of ours, currently pursuing MBA at this esteemed university, to come and share his experiences.
Good afternoon to one and all, respected dignitaries on and off the table, my fellow students, dear parents, and my dear freshers. Welcome, class of 2018. Welcome to your university, your campus, our campus, and your home, our home, for the next 2 to 3 years. We at SRM are really excited you have chosen our university as your next step in education, which I'm sure will launch you to a wonderful career. Our mission to achieve the center of excellence, I believe has already been achieved with the help of our excellent, dedicated and talented faculty members, as well as our ever so knowledge-hungry students. Now, freshers, with your thirst for knowledge and your future contributions, our vision to emerge as a world-class hub of knowledge acquisition and skill development is all there for the taking. Get ready for a whole week of fun and excitement during our Freshers event, where you will get to know a whole bunch of new people through games, activities, and discussions, and hopefully get some good new friends out of it. You will receive a whole lot of information in a small amount of time. SRM is a limitless platform where anything is possible. If you have the right idea and dedication, it will undoubtedly help you achieve your goals. You don't need a campus to excel. You don't need a sports complex to persevere. And you definitely don't need an auditorium to be heard. If you truly require, SRM gives it all, and this has been my personal experience. There are some things which you will remember and some things you might forget, and some things that might change how you view SRM altogether. Whatever you get out of it, it will undoubtedly make your transition to college an easier one. I sat where you are 1 year ago. For me, the great lesson I took out of SRM was knowledge is of no value unless you put it into practice. I come from a small town here, Gantok, where I felt I had an opportunity to gain something big from such a reputed institution as SRM. Here I found other people who were interested in the same things I was and passionate about the same things I was. For the first time in my life, I wasn't the only one I knew that followed sports like others followed politics. Not that I don't like politics. My love for sports came together in the month of April, where we held our first ever annual sports event, Athlon 2018. Each of you here today have a different story to tell about why you are here. For some, SRM is the biggest college you apply to. For some, it may be the smallest. Some of you dreamt of being an SRMite before the beginning of your college search. No matter who you are or where you want to go, SRM truly has a place for you. Education here is helping me shape my own future and walk my own path. As students, we have rights and responsibilities, and we must know how to balance them. You will find a community here, be it music group, dance group, literary club, the NSS, or the Rotaract, a place to call home. There is a place at SRM for everyone to do and learn the things you care about. From music to science, from sports to management, from arts to computers, from economics to literature, and from skills to communication. As you pursue your own path, remember who you are and where you are. Everyone here will share common SRM roots. Always remember, once an SRMite, always an SRMite. Therefore, let us all be ready to learn, lead, and lead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Semi. I'm sure that this fresh batch would have similar joyous experiences and that in the near future, they would be here to share their experience. We also have with us a parent of one of the students to share his experience, Mr. Karmasi Bhutia. He's currently working as a senior faculty in IHM Sikkim, located at Sajong Rumtek. He has trusted and chosen SRM for the education and growth of his son. Sir, may I call you on stage to share your experience with SRM?
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Karmasi Bhutia, and I am the father of Kunjang Baza, who is presently studying in your first year. See, actually, I'll say about there was a time when there was hardly any option for us as a parents for to send a children across other parts of the state for further studies. I myself studied from Kolkata. I did my graduation from Kolkata, and I personally did not want my son to go out of the state for his further studies. So, as a normal parents, when he was growing up, we started to look for colleges. Like which college we had 2 years to go in, and one was, of course, SRM Chennai. I wanted to enroll him in SM Chennai. But slowly but steadily, many different universities started popping up, like the Sikkim University, SRM University pop up. When it came up, it was for me like a dream. And my search for the university ended. I decided then and there itself that my son is going to study in the SRM University. because I've heard so much about this university. And I went to the university and I got introduced to many faculties out here. And I was very kind of contented, satisfied by seeing the uh, entire infrastructure of of the university. And my son, I enrolled him in the Sikkim University itself. Sorry, SRM University itself. Um, there was a time when my wife and myself, we had a debate, about, we were like, we were quite skeptical about where to put him, But when I introduced my wife to the SRM fraternity, even she was impressed. And right now, we were discussing on the dais, we were discussing on the seat out there, that we had made no mistakes about enrolling my son in this university. So thank you so much. It offers so many different courses and it is commendable. And I don't know how you carry on with this kind of such a mammoth task. I myself is a faculty of the Institute of Hotel Management, and I've been teaching there for the last 25 years. And when I'm hearing all these new courses coming up, popping up like magic, it is like I was stunned. In fact, stunned. And I wish more of my faculties had come here to listen to this particular speeches of all these different dignitaries out here. And I feel proud that I've enrolled my son out here in this very fabulous university. And I feel it's a golden opportunity for my son as well as you all students out here to be a part of this university. And I'd like to thank the SRM for doing what you all are good at. And lastly, before I end my speech, I would extend my helping hand in any form. When you need me, I'll be at your disposal. So with this, I would like to thank you. Please, thank you so much.
Any educational institute would be incomplete without the understanding, support, and cooperation of parents like you. Thank you, sir, for being here.
An educational institution is known by its quality of students. It is because of them that we, as a university family, have moved from strength to strength. It is time now to award the meritorious students of our university with the Founders Scholarship Award. I'm going to read the Founders Scholarship Certificate now. We are proud to announce that you, our beloved student, have been selected for the Founders Scholarship of SRM University, Sikkim, conferred in the honor of the Founder Chancellor, Dr. T.R. Parivinder, for your outstanding performance at the school and at the university. Your sincere hard work and honest dedication is highly commendable, and we are elated to have you as our student. We are sure that your committed efforts will shine as a strong example and inspiration for others to emulate, and we expect that you would remain consistent throughout your academic journey. We wish you the best for your career ahead. Now, I would like to request our chief guest, accompanied by Registrar Sir, Dr. Robin Chetri and Ms. Manisha Chakuri, to award the students. I take the name of students one by one, first from the undergraduate category. I would like to introduce Prabina Sharma from Government Senior Secondary School, Makha. She's with 66.8% emerged the school topper, and we are awarding her with 100% scholarship at SRM University. May we have a loud applause for her success. Next, I would like to call upon Shakina Khatun from Modern Senior Secondary School. She, with a percentage of 73.4, emerged as a school topper, and we are awarding her with 100% scholarship at SRM University. Congratulations. Next, I would like to call Timothy Rai from West Point Government Senior Secondary School. With a percentage score of 81.4, he emerged as the school topper, and we are awarding him with 100% scholarship. Next is Shisang Doma Sherpa from Government Girls Senior Secondary School, Namchi. With a percentage score of 79.3%, she emerged as the school topper, and we are awarding her with 100% scholarship. Next, I'd like to invite Kharka Prasad Kami from Dharamdin Government Senior Secondary School. With a percentage score of 72.6, we award him 100% scholarship, the Founders Scholarship. And finally, from the undergraduate category, I would like to call upon Shalina Pradhan from Kaluk Government Senior Secondary School. With a percentage score of 83.4, we are awarding her with 100% scholarship certificate. Now we move on to the postgraduate category. These are the students of SRM University, and they have performed outstandingly in their undergraduate program. We award them with gold medalists already, but today we are awarding them with Founders Scholarship. So, I take this privilege to call upon Sajita Chetri, currently the student of MSc IT. With a percentage score of 87.1, we award her the Founders Scholarship. Next is Anurag Koirala, who is studying MSc in HTM. With a percentage score of 86.2, we award him with 100% scholarship award. Next up is Chitensh Chiring Lepcha, student of MCA Lateral. With a percentage score of 86.25, we award 100% scholarship, the Founders Scholarship, to him. Next is Chapchahang Rai, student of MCA Lateral. With a percentage score of 84.3, we award him the Founders Scholarship. And finally, we have Amit Kumar Prasad, student of MCOM. With a percentage score of 78%, we award him with Founders Scholarship. Congratulations to all the winners. You are really an asset for us. Now moving on, our university also awards certificate and scholarship to economically backward students. Therefore, finance is never a constraint for academically meritorious students. We are pleased to confer upon the economically backward scholarship to the prosperous for the prosperous academic journey of our student. And this year, we have selected a student, Hari Kaurgal from MBA. So I request Hari to kindly come to the dais and accept your scholarship award. Heartiest congratulations to all the winners. Thank you.
As the saying goes, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Our students at SRM University, Sikkim have constantly proven by their sheer mettle that they can excel not only in academics but also in athletics. Their outstanding sportsmanship in the annual sports event of the university, Athlon 2018, is a testimony to the fact that they are not only learners but also leaders in all fields. I now take this opportunity to announce the winners of the 3-day sports event, Athlon 2018, as per the category of sports events. I would request the sports coordinator and the teacher in charges, Dr. Rohan Namgyal, Ms. Sapna Sharma, Mr. Mahendra Gurung, Ms. Chitin Lamu, and Ms. Sudha Gurung to please come to the dais, along with our dignitaries, and give away the awards. I request the representatives of the different groups to please come and receive the awards. The football winners are Blue Bits from the School of Skill Building and the School of IT. The winners of Tug of War Boys are the Falcons from the School of Management and Commerce. The winners of Tug of War Girls are Falcons again from the School of Management and Commerce. And the overall champions of Athlon 2018 are the Blue Bits from the School of Skill Building and the School of IT. Congratulations to all the winners. May I now invite Dr. Robin Chetri, Director, SCERT, and member of Academic Council, SRM, University, Sikkim, to address on academic contribution of the university to the state of Sikkim.
Namaskar and good afternoon to all. Respected Additional Chief Secretary, sir, who is also head of the department as Principal Secretary of Human Resource Development Department. Respected Registrar and Dean of SRM University, Chaitanya ji, colleagues in Academic Council of SRM University, all respected head of the departments, parents, students especially, and all the invited guests. It's a huge privilege for me to stand here and talk about the Academic Council and also the contribution of SRM in Sikkim as a whole. I had this privilege of being the member of Academic Council since the establishment of SRM in 2014. It started its courses, and I have been there with SRM. And I have seen, we have witnessed in the earlier proceedings that SRM University has grown tremendously in this last 4 years. Starting from 2 departments to launch with 100 students, and now it has gone to 8 different programs and departments with 8 schools. And then the number has grown from around 100 to more than 1,000. So it's a tremendous growth of SRM. But however, you should also understand, and as a member of Academic Council, I have witnessed that this growth has not been random. It has not been arbitrary. It has been planned, and it has been planned in a way that the courses offered by the institution, as Chaitanya was saying, it has to be relevant, it has to be contemporary, and it has to be useful for each and every student who takes admission in SRM. And as a council member, I assure you that has been taken care. Because every time a course is proposed in the Academic Council, we look into the factors that whether the course has been well designed, not only designed, but it has been backed by research, whether it has been supported by data of the need-based, of its contemporariness, its relevance, and its overall design that is needed to bring the overall outcome in any student who takes admission in that course. And I'm the witness of that. So especially for the newcomers and also the students, I, on behalf of Academic Council, assure you that you have got yourself admitted in the right place and you are in safe hands. Because you will see that Sikkim has a different kind of institutions. It has government institutions, it has private institutions, and government, the policy of the state government has also been such that education is at the highest priority, and many institutions of government institutions also has come up, and also the private institutions have come up, and all these institutions we see they complement each other, because working in government will have some constraints always, and SRM and other private institutions has tried to supplement whatever shortcomings in the government institutions are there because of several constraints. One very interesting point was raised
that any institution needs to have a cosmopolitan nature. That students from different parts of the country, different parts of the culture, different parts of the region, if they come to an institution, then it will have a huge impact in the overall growth of students of that institution. Now, we do have some constraint in government institutes because we have to cater to the students from state. So that kind of cosmopolitan nature possibly, we try to maintain that, but still the strength of that may not be sometimes sufficient in government institutes, but SRM University has done that, and it has been a great help to whoever takes admission in SRM. And then there are, many courses that are offered in SRM, which has parallel courses running in other institutes also, because the demand is there. Because the introduction of, look at, just for an example, look at the introduction of basic sciences courses, undergraduate courses in SRM this year. Even if you look at the statistics, then these courses are the courses where highest number of students get admitted all over the country. The humanities is the highest, but basic sciences. And even though we do have several institutions, government institutions, which cater to the need of undergraduate basic science courses, but still the demand is more. We are not able to accommodate them in all government institutes. So the introduction of basic undergraduate courses in science is a welcome. Everybody in Sikkim is welcoming that. And apart from, and similarly, other courses like hospitality management and tourism, and similarly IT and MBA, there may be other institutions. But SRM is also doing that, and of course, SRM has, its own advantage of these courses, because as I said, whenever any course is introduced in SRM, and it has the design of the course is thoroughly checked, whether it fulfills the need of the day, whether it is relevant for the present scenario, and its efficiency to bring out the whole efficiency, the development of the students. So that's in that sense, these courses are all relevant. And at the same time, the introduction of new courses like public health management is something that Sikkim will hugely welcome that, because we know that health is another sector which is in the priority list of any government actually, both state government and the government of India. But however, whatever facilities we have health, it has to be managed well, it has to be effective system, and the design of the course of that particular course in SRM is designed in such a way the expected outcome of the course is to produce leaders, policy makers in that who can efficiently manage public health system and also implement whatever health policies of the state government and also the central government. So that's the design, that's how the courses are designed, and we need such courses in any institute, in fact, in Sikkim. And similarly, the introduction of, which has, in detail, all the HODs have already informed in detail. However, I'm just trying to make you understand what is the philosophy of designing these courses. Like the introduction of the course of skill development. This is probably what is the need of hour. We have instances like at one, when this course was being introduced, then the proposer told us a story that how SRM takes university students for exposure trips to different industries and different institutions in the state, and they were visiting the pharmaceutical industries of the Sikkim. Then the input came from them that whoever, other institutions who are offering graduate courses or other relevant courses, when they come and get appointed in pharmaceutical industries, they are not job ready. A lot of training has to be done for them. And with that input, such BVOC courses in pharmaceutical industries have been designed in SRM. Similarly, there are other certificate courses which are so relevant. I mean, Chaitanya ji just briefed you about the background of the courses. I'm really excited to have these courses in SRM, because there are courses in medical coding, there are courses in data handling, there are courses in IT, there are courses in revenue management and revenue recycling. These are all very exciting courses, especially IR, if I have to mention, that the people of science and technology tells us that we are heading towards a new industrial revolution in very near future. And as has been the case, that whatever industrial revolution has happened in the past, each revolution has its theme. Like if you look at the first industrial revolution, the theme of that industrial revolution was generation of power. Then the IT revolution had the theme of IT, which has changed the whole marketing, human resource management, manufacturing of the industries. And the forthcoming, which we are, very expecting the next industrial revolution, and everybody is expecting the theme of next industrial revolution is going to be IR, artificial intelligence, AI. So these courses, I'm telling you, as a member of the academic council, whatever courses has been introduced in SRM are all futuristic. Meaning like whoever goes through this course would be able to grab any opportunity that comes to you in future. So that has always been the philosophy of designing courses in SRM, and in that sense, SRM has become a huge asset itself to the state. And we are very glad to know that such qualified, eminent, experienced faculty members have been appointed in SRM. They are not only, as a government official, we see that they are not only property of SRM, but when they come to Sikkim, they become property of the whole state. So we, on behalf of the government, we welcome you all. Because, they will be doing their responsibility in SRM, but however, an institution is not an isolated thing. So they will be utilized in the state in many different capacities. So we are very, very happy and will be very enriched with their presence in SRM. So as I said in the beginning, that especially the freshers, you are not only welcome this SRM University, but we also assure you that you are in a safe hand. Your choice has been good. It's appropriate. However, as a teacher or as a member of academic council, before I stop, I have two things to share with you. Number one, when you graduate from a school, now you have graduated from a school, and you have entered into the domain of higher education. And age-wise also now you are being declared as adults. So there is a little change in the dynamics of learning. Till you were in school, your learning outcome or your learning is taken, the responsibility of your learning is taken by teachers. Your teachers will be there to help. However, in higher education, please remember this, even though your teachers will take care of you, even though teachers are always there to help, but as such, the dynamics of higher education would be such that the responsible person to gain more and more knowledge is only you. You should be able to extend your knowledge. The teachers, the professors can only take you to the fountain of knowledge. It depends upon you how much deep you absorb that knowledge, or only you throw it after gargling. So it's your responsibility. So please be careful about the changing dynamics from school to the domain of higher education. And lastly, I just wish to remind you about the statistics. Like if you look at the statistics of higher education entry level in our country globally, especially if I may mention the gross enrollment ratio in higher education. If you look at our country, even though our system of education is only third, it's third largest in the world, where US and China are first and second in terms of volume and in terms of size. But in terms of the enrollment ratio, GER, we are still hovering around 25%. To be exact, 25.8, that's the latest figure. So what does that mean? It means, of course, our target is to make it 30% by 2020, but still the growth is little, it's not as good as expected. But what does that mean? The meaning of that is only 1/4, that 25% of youth of the age 18 to 23 get admitted to institutes of higher education. And in that sense, this lot who has been admitted to SRM is a hugely privileged lot. And with that privilege comes the responsibility. So every seat, every course you have got admitted to, so you have a huge responsibility there, because you are the privileged lot among the 25% of the youths of your own age who get admitted into the higher education. So in that sense, you are not only privileged, but you also have a huge responsibility of utilizing that privilege and be able to and build your capacity in such a way that you become useful citizens of the nation and serve nation in future. But I'm sure with this young crowd and with such an efficient faculty members in SRM and well-designed courses, as I said, so everything is in as per the desire. The courses are good, contemporary. The courses are relevant. Courses are modern. The faculty members are well qualified and well experienced, and also the students who have come has got lots of enthusiasm in it. So in that sense, all these three combinations, I'm sure all this combination will work and will work wonders in future. So once again, thanking me for giving this opportunity and this privilege of being a part of SRM as an academic council member, and also witnessing this wonderful proceedings of the evening. And with all the best wishes to all students, I'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such an enlightening and inspiring speech. We are truly overwhelmed by your words. Now, may I take the opportunity to call upon Sri G.P. Upadhyay, IAS Additional Chief Secretary, HRDD, Government of Sikkim, to give us the induction address.
Good morning, everybody. Mr. Satish, the Registrar of SRM University Sikkim, Dr. Chetri, who just spoke, my colleague in the department and director of SCERT. SCERT stands for State Council of Educational Research and Training. Many of you may or may not be knowing. SCERT is engaged in a very simple sentence, to improve the quality of teaching and learning in our schools. Then we have Dr. Mahapatra, member of Academic Council. Dr. Chetri also is a member of Academic Council. Mr. Chaitanya, who is here with us, I am very happy to hear him some time back. He spoke about technology, how it has come into our lives, and how lives have become both, I mean, I would say it, both easy as well as complicated because of that. Mr. Anbalagan, the Dean, all respected heads of departments who are here. We had the opportunity of listening to some of them, and of course, about all of them, their qualification, their experience. I can tell you, I am extremely happy to meet all of them and hear about all of them. People of eminence, people of academic achievement, excellence, who have come to Sikkim. We are truly privileged that they are in Sikkim, and the aim and the objective of the government of Sikkim is to improve the quality of teaching learning in the state. Uh, you see, we became inalienable part of India in 1975. It has been just about 43 years since Sikkim became part of India. It's a short journey for any place, any state. And the first college of Sikkim came into being. I mean, Sheda was there, but in 1977, the Tadung College, which is now named after the ex-chief minister, Shri Narbhadur Bhandari Degree College. So it came into being in 1977. And today, if I talk about the sheer numbers of the institutes that we have an incredible 7 universities in the state of Sikkim. Out of 7 universities, 4 are in private sector, including SRM, and 3 are in public sector, including Sikkim Central University. We have also opened just a couple of days back our Sikkim State University with inauguration of 3-4 master's program. And we have already established actually our Sikkim National Law University, which is in the process of taking shape. So, this is the kind of development that has taken place, especially in the last 25 years. And today we have got 12 government colleges in the state under the Department of Human Resource Development, and the total enrollment of all government colleges, to be precise to the single digit, is 10,033 in all the colleges. This year we have opened 2-3 specialized professional colleges. We have opened an engineering college in the state sector at Chisopani. We have opened pharmacy college here, and we have also opened nursing college. So the state is witnessing expansion of higher education at a breakneck speed, and I think it's a great tribute to the kind of stable governance that we are witnessing in the state of Sikkim. Nothing can happen in a state which is not peaceful, not growth oriented, not having progressive policies. Nothing will happen. So I think the way state is being governed, the kind of peace and tranquility that we are witnessing in the state, that is an essential prerequisite of anything that is happening today. So we are very proud of that, and all of you are contributed to that. So in the entire Northeast, we have emerged as an educational hub. Despite being a small state in size in terms of area and population, the state has truly emerged as a hub of higher education in the entire Northeast. We also have parents, dear students, friends from media, from industry. Today is the induction program of the 2018 batch, and everybody sitting here, when I used to sit like you, like an audience like this, and the chief guest used to come and speak in front of me, I used to think, and everybody must be thinking, all the children, that, he's lucky, he's chief guest, he's senior officer, he has been given all kinds of, respect, honor, but I can tell you this thing, that each one of you is worthy of this. And it is also very hard earned. I mean, the basic thing I am trying to underscore is, if you really want to rise in life and achieve some position, hard work is a prerequisite again. And I remember when I went to for my graduation, it was very different time, like Chaitanya was telling us. It was a very, very different time. I mean, people won't believe today that those times existed. I was reading a book recently, in fact, I am yet to finish it, It's a lovely book. It's called The Billionaire Raj. It is authored by James Crabtree, who was the Financial Times correspondent in India for the last 5 years. So he has written about India's, different billionaires like Mukesh Ambani, Gautam Adani, Vijay Mallya, how they have risen and some of them have fallen. And it's a great story, great factual detail, and great analysis. He has mentioned that before 91, I think all of you should know that India actually embarked upon liberalization of economic policies in the year 1991. All of you know this? 91 was a watershed year. It was a watershed year. Watershed in terms of physical landscape is defined as a kind of ridge which separates two different catchment areas. So this is called the watershed. So watershed things change dramatically. So 1991 was a watershed year in terms of India's economic growth or economic history or economic policies. As opposed to China, China opened up in which year? Anyone of you know which year China opened up for the outside world or embarked upon the ambitious economic growth which we are witnessing in China today? Which was that year? Anyone? It was 1978. 1978, Deng Xiaoping was the architect of that. He opened a Shenzhen. There's a place called Shenzhen, which was a fishing village at the mouth of, I think, Pearl River Delta. Shenzhen was made into a special economic zone, export processing zone. It began in 1978. And how he got the, idea of doing like this in China in 1978, he was on a visit to Singapore. Singapore, got independence in 1965. Please bear with me, I'm giving you some historical facts because they are very valuable facts and they will teach you a few things in life. Chaitanya has been in Singapore, his office is there. I have spent more than a year in Singapore doing my master's in Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy. I'll tell you my experience when I went there also. I'll take few minutes, but it will be interesting. So, Deng Xiaoping went to Singapore. Singapore has got about 73% Chinese population, Chinese origin population. About 12-13% are Malays from Malaysia. About 7-8% are Indians and some others. So it's predominantly Chinese population in Singapore. Singapore was already witnessing a huge growth. It has become one of the most modern countries in the world. Despite being independent in 1965, it's a city-state, small country. It has got an area of about less than 7,000 square kilometers. About 700 square kilometers, 693 square kilometers, just very small area. And the population today is about, I think, 6.4 million. When I went, it was 4.4 million. So in the last about 12-13 years, it's gone up by about 20 lakhs, 2 million. So he saw Singapore and he was amazed how Singapore has developed so much. And then he spoke to Lee Kuan Yew, who was the then president of Singapore, prime minister of Singapore. And then that's how the idea of Shenzhen came into being. And today, thereafter everything is history. Today, China is the second biggest economy in the world, and with a GDP of almost close to, I think, about 8 or 10 trillion dollars. US is number one, of course, with about 17-18 trillion dollars. India is lagging behind, although we have become the sixth largest economy in the world recently, about 2.5 trillion dollars. So, China opened up in 1978, we opened up in 1991, and I was talking about that book. In that book, it is mentioned that how in India, even owning a telephone was such a great luxury in those days. People used to book a scooter when the child used to be born. And when the child used to get of marriageable age, the scooter was delivered by the dealer. Those were the days. And, somebody left in his will 2 telephones when he was dying for his, descendants. Those controlled socialist economy. And actually, India was quite globalized before 1947. After 47, it became rather closed economy and witnessed a very, very infamously called Hindu rate of growth of about 2.5 to 3%. After 1991, when we unshackled all the controls, almost all the controls. The situation was like that, we had just about 1.5 to 2 weeks of foreign exchange left for import. And today, our foreign exchange reserves are more than $400 billion, which will suffice for more than a year of import. So, this is how things have really changed. And the technology and the, integration of Indian economy with the global economy has happened in the last about, 25, 26 years is also unprecedented. The most boom years for India's growth were the first decade of 21st century, when the entire world was actually lifted by a tide of easy money flowing into all the countries, especially the developing countries. And the IT boom, I remember when I went to Bangalore after coming into IAS way back in 1990 or maybe 89, we were on Bharat Darshan. So it was my first visit to Bangalore in those days. It used to be a small, beautiful town. And we were told that this is a lovely town with good air-conditioned weather and very green area. And this is a very good town for retired people. In those days, we were told, relaxed life, no mardhar, no, nobody's in hurry, everybody's retired, so they're enjoying their life. And today, see what has happened to Bangalore. Bangalore is the software capital of the world. And almost every Fortune 500 company, they have got their back office in Bangalore. You also have an office in Bangalore? You work out of Bangalore. So see, when we went to Singapore in 2005, there was a word very common in those days. It used to be called Bangalore. His job has been Bangalore. Means his job has traveled to Bangalore. In US, people used to call his job has been Bangalore. That means his job has been spoiled, completely abolished in US and traveled back to Bangalore. So, and in those days, China used to be called factory of the world and India back office of the world. So, these are the things we must pause and take a look at. How world has changed is amazing. It's really amazing. When I came to Sikkim in 1990, I joined here as a very, very young 23-year-old IS officer. I was very mature. I had done well in my studies, so I could qualify for this service. When I came here, I remember, initially I was completely at a loss. And to make any call to my home, we used to go to the post office here in town. Nowhere there was STD phone facility available. We used to come here and use the PCO to call back home. And today, you can make a video call to anybody in the world at a fraction. I mean, almost free of cost, thanks to Reliance Jio now. And in those days, I remember when I was a child, much younger than all of you also, when I was in school, early part of my elementary school, I don't remember who was that somebody, but somebody from the family, maybe one of my uncle or somebody, he gifted me a small book. I keep quoting it because that's how it opened up my way of thinking. It was a small book in Hindi because I am from the UP. My home state is UP, and my mother tongue is Hindi. And I have studied in a government school with Hindi medium till class 12. So I got hold of that book gifted on my birthday or something by my uncle, which was it used, I think the name was Vaigyanik Kahaniyan, scientific stories. And that book talked about futuristic technologies. So when I got hold of that book, till then I was hardly interested in school studies. I used to hate my school. I used to hate my textbooks. I used to avoid going to school. It was a pain for me. But I used to read a lot. I mean, I did not read my textbooks, but otherwise I could read anything I can lay my hands on. That was my habit. Not the textbook I used to hate, but then reading a magazine like Parag or Nandan, in those days Hindi magazines, or even other, when I grew up, then Dharmyog and all that Hindi very famous magazines. And this book came to me as a great boon. This book contained glimpses of future technologies. For example, the book said that, and there were descriptive photographic descriptions, cartoonist descriptions. The book said that today we talk on phone, we only hear the voice. A time will come in future when we can see the person while talking. So to make us, make it very interesting, it was mentioned today, even if we are taking bath, we put a towel and come and take the call. But in those days, we can't do it. We have to dress up properly. Otherwise, they will see us from the other end. So this was the kind of description given. Then they said that, a time will come. This was about telephone. Already it has come. A time will come when, in those days it was, I think, we never had TV in our home till my schooling was complete. I saw TV first time when I went to Roorkee for my BTech, IIT Roorkee. And the color TV, I remember it, that was black and white TV. The color TV came first time in India in 1982 when we organized the Asiad Games in 1982 in Delhi. So, it talked about a TV when, instead of having a screen and, big box behind, there'll be a small instrument and the entire TV screen, the photograph will come in the air, It will, you can't, you will see as if it is happening in front of you. I think that time also is not very far. We already have now, initially we had LCD, then LED, now OLED. The TV is becoming thinner and thinner. The pictures are becoming crisper and crisper. And, a time will come and you will actually see the TV as if it is happening before you. In a kind of atmosphere, the image will be created. That was another story which is yet to see the light of the day, but I'm sure it is going to happen very soon. Then there was a story about, cars, that the cars today we fill up petrol and diesel every day. And, it's a great headache for us. Sometimes it is not available. A time will come when we'll just put a spoon of uranium in the car and for whole of its life, the car will run. No need of any refueling will be required. So when I read these kind of stories, scientific stories, it opened up my imagination. I started thinking about, Arey, this will also happen. This will also happen. My God, how exciting it would be. So, this is how, that book opened up my way of imagination. So what I'm trying to say is, nowadays we have Google and all those kinds of things and smartphone and so many apps which monitor our everything, how much food we have eaten, how many steps we have walked, how many stairs we have climbed, what is our BP, what is our pulse rate. Everything is now, available in real time, 24/7. So now my appeal to all the youngsters is, SRM University has been successfully, and I'm very grateful to them, successfully able to come out with, very relevant courses. And the icing on the cake is tying up with Chaitanya for, giving you the kind of skill that is needed to secure a job. And not only secure a job, because securing a job is only the beginning of the story. When I got into IAS way back, it has been now a long journey in the administrative service. It has been almost 30 years. When I entered service, I thought, oh, God is very kind. I'm so lucky I have got into IAS. Now my life is secure. I have nothing to worry about my future and this and that. That was a thought when I entered. Today, if you ask me, it was a very wrong thought. The kind of challenges that I have faced in the service, the kind of difficult times that I have faced in the service, and the kind of competition I'm facing in the service is much more intense than while entering the service. So what is the point I'm driving home is, getting a job, securing a job is one part of the story. To succeed in the job is completely different. I have seen many brilliant officers who have been toppers and gold medalists and all that, failing in the job miserably, especially in the administrative jobs or other jobs also. And some of the people who did not do as well in their schooling and higher education, they have excelled. They have innovated things. They have gone for innovations, they have gone for experimentation, they have taken risks, and they have come out successfully. And today they are, many of my batchmates from Roorkee, they are in US and they are in all over the world. Of course, they give me a lot of respect because I'm in government and I'm holding a high position. And I keep coming to their rescue at some point of time or the other. But they are owning big empires, running successful industries. And I feel very lucky because we have got a very close group thanks to now the technology again, WhatsApp and Facebook. In those days, I remember when we left our college. When I was in college, I used to inland letter cards or postcards and post it. The reply used to come after 1 month. So, after 1 month, you used to hear what you wrote to them. Those were the early 80s, and today it's all real time. So today we are well connected with our batchmates, and I really thank Facebook and the technology and the WhatsApp for that. We know who is where, what is happening. We keep sharing our success stories, our challenges, our problems. So, take full advantage of this, the course that you have entered in the university. Make the most of this time. Have good fun also, because these 3 or 4 years, I spent 4 years for my graduation. They are the best part of your life. Chaitanya was talking about watching a movie, and he rekindled my memories of how we used to watch movie in those early 80s in Roorkee. We used to study very hard, of course, because I got into a good college. I thought I'll make the most of it. In this kind of program we had, and then we were told that you are lucky you have come to Roorkee, a premier institution, the oldest engineering college in the country. It was established in 1847 by Mr. Thompson. So it used to be called Thompson College of Engineering earlier. So they said you have come to a very, very prestigious college, make the most of it. And I took the words very, very faithfully, and I really used to make the most of it. I studied very hard and I got the rewards. So we used to watch movies on every Saturday, 9 to 12 in the night. That was our schedule, to unwind the whole week's, academic load and, load of submitting assignments and this. It was tough, but we used to enjoy. So every Saturday we used to go to watch a movie in the nearby hall. We used to go and buy tickets and all that. On our way back around 12 midnight, 12:30 midnight, we used to get hungry. So we used to eat, some small toast, omelette or something on a small wayside shop. Now we mentioned about how we watch a movie, book my show and all kinds of things, apps, and how we fly, how we travel, how we book our tickets. It has become so easy. While traveling, I book my ticket on the app for going to Delhi or any place. It is so easy. At the same time, because of technology, life has also become complicated. Because even if I keep my phone on flight mode for 1 hour, supposing I want to take a rest, not to get disturbed or whatever, the moment I open, I get flood of messages. Somebody calls, "Arey, what happened? Where were you? Why the phone was not available?" So the privacy has gone. And in our position, we can't afford to keep the phone even on the flight mode or switched off mode unless we are flying. So whenever I fly to Delhi or wherever I go, I feel very happy because I will not get any call for that period. I can read very peacefully, and I yearn for those days in older time when we were not getting disturbed so frequently. So technology is both a boon and a bane. It depends on how you use it, how you make use of it. I was recently married. My wife was also trying to learn cooking. So she used to buy some cookery books, there were some famous books in those days to learn some recipes and all. Today, what is happening? Today, she watches YouTube, and there are a host of recipes on YouTube. And whenever I go home, I get surprised on getting a new dish. What a great, convenience at our disposal. We have got e-books, a lot of e-books. We have got Kindle. I have also got a Kindle. I read a lot. I request all the youngsters, please read a lot. Whenever you get time, please read a lot. You can read hard copy or you can read soft copy. It depends on how you feel. I'm not very comfortable with soft copy because, I get strain in my eyes. And, reading a hard copy of a book is much more easier. You can be in any position and you can read on the bed or whatever. And my eyes are not strained. But I do read a lot today. And as I said, entering service was one thing. Surviving or thriving in the service or your profession, whichever profession you are, business, is completely different. You have to work much harder than how much you worked for your graduation or entering that service. So please read a lot. When you read, you learn so many things. Read all kinds of good books. Read books on, great people, how they succeeded. You will get invaluable lessons of life, I can tell you. And that will really, really help you. So I have picked up like this in my life from, people I've heard as my, my inspirers for me, or, chief guest of function where I was sitting like you. So, it used to give me lots of insight. I'm very happy for all of you. I wish you all the very best for the courses that you have entered into. And these days, it has become so easy now, or, so many opportunities are available. I mean, if you enter a course, it doesn't mean that whole of your life you have to remain in that profession. Now you can always change your profession. You can go for a refresher course. You can go for a new course after serving for a few years. Once you make some money, you can again go for a fresh course, a fresh skill, and change your job also. Experience, of course, you pick up on the way. So, world is full of opportunities, full of opportunities. We talk about job losses because of, initially we used to talk about job losses because of computer. Computer was, in those days when I entered the college, we used to have mainframe computer. The computer CPU was almost this size of the room, and now we carry computer. This phone is a computer, and it has got such great capabilities. So similarly, you see, make the most of this, and be very competitive and take advantage of all the opportunities that are available. There are great opportunities. So we talked about computers, job losses because of computers. It actually did not happen. Many jobs were either reformatted, redesigned, or many more jobs came up for grabs. So similarly, I think with AI coming into our lives in a big way, artificial intelligence, for example, robots have now come into being who talk to you like a human being. They have got huge amount of data. A robot basically is a very fast computer. It has got a huge memory. It has been given all possible situations. And then when you ask a question, it does the calculation, takes out that, analyzes that data and gives you the answer. So that is basically in simple a robot. So robots have come, they talk to you like a human being. I think very soon we may have robots who will do our household works. They will cook food for us, they will clean our homes. They will not ask for a salary, they will not ask for leave, and they will do 24/7 work for us. So that time also will come very shortly. We already have driverless cars without drivers, so that people say driver's job is lost. You see, what is happening is some jobs are getting lost, but some jobs are getting created. So one has to have very, very, clear thought about this, and very, very sharp eye on what is going to happen in future, which jobs are going to be lost and which jobs are going to be created. And if you can sense those opportunities and go for those areas, I think the world is at your feet. So my best wishes to all the students who are here, who have taken admission in the SRM University, and for your bright future. And my thanks to SRM University. They have been partner in the growth of education in the state. I thank them wholeheartedly for whatever they have done, and I expect them. I am part of the governing council, and we keep discussing about the university's future and growth. And I have told them, which they have. I'm very happy they have listened to it very carefully, to come with innovative courses which can really benefit our youngsters like you, and take you to a new level. So thank you so much, and keep doing like this. Keep expanding your infrastructure, your faculty, and have a nice campus in times to come, so that the children can have a better place also. I mean, of course, you have good facilities, and thanks to the parents who are here, who have taken time off and come here. And a word for the parents: please encourage your children to do well in life, and encourage them always to do hard work. Never be, my father and my mother, I remember, they never used to tell me कि बेटा अब सो जाओ, बहुत पढ़ लिया and all that. They always used to encourage me that if you really want to scale up, work hard, because hard work has no alternative. Hard work has no substitute. When I was in Singapore, I told that I'll share my experience. When I went to do my masters in Singapore 12-13 years back, 2005, before that, of course, I had done my masters long back, BTech and MTech from IIT. In those days, all hard copies, writing by hand, submitting assignments. In Singapore, first time we were told that there is a portal, and whatever assignment you have to submit, you have to type and upload on the portal. It was a new thing for us. I didn't know how to type properly. I learned typing in Singapore because there was no assistance, there was no PA or PS or whatever. So I learned typing, and then I learned how to upload the assignments on net, and how it goes to the faculty, the concerned faculty, who then gives us grade. So this is how things have developed, and we have learned, and we used to work very hard. So children, work hard, conquer the world. The world is really exciting. It has got great opportunities, and it has come on your way, come in your way. So please take full advantage. Parents, please encourage your children to take advantage of these things and win the world. So with these words, I close here, and once again, all the very best to you as well as the SRM University. Thank you.
So, we we express our sincere gratitude for your enlightening address and appreciate the efforts taken by the HRDD Government of Sikkim in expanding and excelling the educational infrastructure in the state of Sikkim.
We are now approaching towards the closure of this exhilarating day of the Induction Program 2018. I'm sure this event has left you inspired and energized to take on the challenges that lie ahead with passion, determinism, and perseverance. As a token of gratitude and remembrance, I would now request our beloved Registrar Sir to present a memento to our esteemed dignitaries. Shri G.P. Upadhyay, the chief guest of today's event, IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, HRDD, Government of Sikkim. Then, Dr. Robin Chetri, Director, SCERT, and Academic Council Member of SRM University, Sikkim. Professor S.S. Mahapatra, Associate Professor, Sikkim University, and Member of Academic Council, SRM University, Sikkim. And finally, Mr. Chaitanya K. from MANT Global Services.
The Induction Program 2018 has finally reached its finish, and it's time to thank the members of the university who have worked tirelessly to make this event successful. I request the Dean Academics, Dr. R. Anbalagan, sir, to kindly give the vote of thanks.
Honorable Chief Guest, respected Registrar Sir, invited dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, learned faculty members, dear students, parents, ladies and gentlemen, a warm good afternoon to all of you. Gratitude is the heartiest to all human emotions. The more you express gratitude, the happiness will come to everyone. So now we are at the end of the program in expressing our gratitude. First, I name it a great honor and privilege to propose vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion. First of all, I would like to convey my sincere thanks to the Honorable Chief Guest, Shri G.P. Upadhyaya Sir, Additional Chief Secretary, HRDD, Government of Sikkim. On behalf of the entire institution, I thank you, sir, from the bottom of my heart. Sir, your eminent presence has indeed made this event a memorable, and we unitedly thank you for your concern over our university and your gracious presence. Thank you, sir. We are very much grateful to our registrar for his able planning and organizing this event very successfully. We all know that without his continuous efforts and ideas, this function would not have been successful to this extent. Moreover, our science blog has come to existence because of his continuous efforts taken with management, and now it is happening. So, we thank you, sir, for all your behalf, and on my behalf, I thank our registrar, sir. Our hearty thanks to Mr. Chaitanya, MANT Global Services, for his presence and narrating the initiatives on the job-oriented new programs introduced recently in our SRM University. We must also thank his associate, Mr. Sakti, for his nice participation in this function. Both of them have come all the way from Chennai to participate in this function. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We are thankful to Dr. Robin Chetri, Director, SCRT, and member of our Academic Council, for his graceful presence and a nice delivery of speech highlighting the contribution of SRM University to the students and the society. Thank you, sir. Our heartfelt thanks to Professor Mahabhadra, Professor from Sikkim University, and our academic council member for his participation in our induction function. Thank you, sir. We are grateful to all the guests, parents present here. Your encouragement always helps us to carry out these events in a grand manner. I would like to thank all the HODs, faculty members, administrative and office staff, supporting staff, coordinators of various committees, students and NSS volunteers. This event was not possible without your invaluable contribution. You all have worked day and night for the success of this event. Thank you all very much. Our profound thanks to all the senior class students and also new first year students for having attended the function in large number and made it a grand success. Thank you all. We also would like to thank all the media persons, staff members of the Manan Bhavan, police personnel and fire service personnel, and all others who rendered their contribution either directly or indirectly for the success of this function. Last but not least, we thank you all, our dear audience, on behalf of our registrar, entire teaching and non-teaching staff, faculty and students for cheering us. Thank you very much.
I request everyone to kindly rise from their seat for the national anthem. Thank you everyone for your patience and for being such a lovely audience.